Constituent Assembly Chairman Subhash Chandra Nimang has requested that parties end the political stalemate at the earliest possible. He has urged them to furnish reasons for the obstruction of the CA meetings and to initiate process for dialogue. Talking to Kantipur television, Constituent Assembly Chairman said that the meeting of the CA has been shelved at the request of the opposition until further notice. He said it was important to hold talks now so that a conclusion could be reached. He said even if the parties fail to promulgate our constitution, they should hold talks and announce a new date. He clarified that the CA meetings had not been shelved for good. The Constituent Assembly Chair said once the parties agree on fundamental issues, this could automatically end the need for a questionnaire committee. Nimang requested the parties to request the people for a few more months to promulgate the constitution. Unified Maoist senior leader Baburam Bhattarai has said that his party was committed to promulgate the national statute through the Constituent Assembly. Addressing a mass gathering in Surkhet yesterday, he said the ruling coalition had spread false rumor that the Unified Maoist had never wanted promulgation of the national charter. Bhattarai added that the party wants the constitution to be issued based on consensus among the very forces who were signatories of the Comprehensive Peace Accord. Bhattarai risked Surkhet to train the party cadres. Yesterday, he also gave a speech on international relations and diplomacy to the students of Midwestern University. The Unified Maoist-led 30-party alliance staged demonstrations in front of district administration offices all around the country yesterday. Calling it pressure to promulgate the constitution through consensus, the alliance surrounded district administration offices all around the nation under the first stage of the announced protest programs. Along with covering district administration offices in Kathmandu, Lalitpur and Kantipur, they also staged demonstrations. At the demonstrations, they said that the constitution promulgated through majority would not be accepted. They demanded the promulgation of a consensual constitution. The alliance demanded that the majority procedure be stopped and the constitution be promulgated through previous agreements. They have announced protest programs in episodes saying it is to pressure the constitution promulgation through procedural means. The alliance has also decided to keep the protest programs going unless an official environment is created between the parties for talks. The Commissions on Truth and Reconciliation and Enforced Disappearances have finally begun their work. The commissions were formed 8 years after the Comprehensive Peace Agreement between the then government led by late Girija Prasad Koirala and Maoist insurgents. The formation of the commissions was a major aspect of the peace agreement. However, the commissions are yet to attain full shape. So far, a secretariat and a secretary have been assigned at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but no staff have been appointed to the Commission on Enforced Disappearances as of yet. The Commission on Enforced Disappearances is supposed to reveal the whereabouts of those forcefully disappeared by both the state security forces and the Maoist rebels during the 10-year-long insurgency. But alongside the necessary staff, the Commission even lacks infrastructure and resources required for its official endeavors. Whereas the government officials said that they are recently busy in formulating regulation, code of conduct and working strategy of both the commissions. The commissions are tasked with providing justice to the conflict era victims by digging into the cases of serious human rights violations. Due to this, the government has said that both the commissions need to work under a single act. The authority also said that commissions' respective jurisdictions were currently being finalized. As per the official records, almost 17,000 people lost their lives and more than 1,300 disappeared during the armed insurgency. Likewise, the war also rendered around 1,200 people homeless and caused the loss of property worth almost 21 billion rupees. The Virat Gold Cup is underway in Viratnagar. We'll have news on this in our sports section. In this contest, we had asked spectators at the Sahid Stadium to comment on top division clubs competing in the Gold Cup. Before we go for a short break, let's take a look at what...
अब मनाङ माछातिर क्रिस्टाको पछि छ त्यसमा चाहिँ हेरौँ के हुन्छ कि मनोरञ्जन त मलाई एकदमै धेरै भइरहेछ मलाई चाहिँ सानैदेखि फुटबल धेरै नै मन पर्ने हो त्यो हिसाबले राम्रै महसुस भइरहेछ आजसम्म सोचेको टिमले जिते पनि रहेको छ हारेको छैन त्यो हिसाबले इन्टरटेनमेन्ट राम्रै भइरहेछ यो गेम हेर्नुको लागि हामी धेरै टाढो जानु पर्थ्यो आज हाम्रो सहरमा भएको कारणले हामी एकदमै खुसी छौँ गत वर्षको तुलनामा यस वर्ष व्यवस्थापन पनि अत्यन्तै राम्रो र सफा सुन्दर स्वच्छ तरिकाले गेम सञ्चालन भइरहेको छ। यसमा म अत्यन्तै धेरै खुसी छु। गेम एकदम रमाइलो लागिरहेको छ। अझ एडिभिजन कतिपल्ट क्लबहरू खेल्नु बाँकी छ, ती अझै रमाइलो जस्तो लागिरहेको छ। समग्र भन्नुपर्दा विवादमा फुटबलको उत्साह बहुत राम्रो छ। साह्रै नै रमाइलो लागिरहेछ, साह्रै नै मनोरञ्जन प्राप्त भइरहेछ। यस्तो खेलकुदको विकासको लागि यस्तो मौसम फुटबलहरू गराउनु अत्यावश्यक छ। आनन्द रमाइलो भएछ, जस ठाउँ पनि लागि राम्रो छ, पनि धेरै राम्रो छ। विराटनगरको एउटा बहिनी हो विराट गोल्ड कप भन्ने चाहिँ होइन, तर यसमा मान्छेको उपस्थिति चाहिँ धेरै कम देखियो होइन। प्रचार प्रसारमा कमी भयो कि के भयो? विगत वर्ष भन्दाखेरि यो भित्री व्यवस्थापन चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो, त्यस्तो दुरुस्त। जस्तै पासको व्यवस्थापन हेर्दा पनि एकदम राम्रो छ, जोताएको मान्छे आएको छैन। तर शुद्ध दर्शकहरू हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति कमी भयो जस्तो लाग्यो।
Welcome back after the break. The government is preparing to provide 2 million as relief fund to Gangamaya Adhikari, who has been protesting for nearly a year, demanding justice for her son's killing. Besides that sum, she will also be provided a 10 million rupee bank account's interest. The deposit amount will be returned to the Finance Ministry upon Gangamaya's death. Ministry for Peace and Reconstruction said they had already sent notice to the Finance Ministry requesting the amount. The compensation is being provided for the death of her husband, Nanda Prasad, who died in due course of fasting. Gangamaya has ended her fast last year after the government promised to take action against those guilty of killing her son, Krishna. Nanda Prasad's body is still in the morgue, waiting for the government to take action against the killers. Krishna was killed by Maoist rebels during the insurgency. It has been 3 years since the government restored the bonded tiller program in the Midwestern and Far Western development regions. However, the rehabilitation has not been able to gain momentum. Among the 2,516 bonded tillers, the families of only 70 have been restored in 3 years. They have demanded that the rehabilitation process be sped up. The bonded tiller rehabilitation program, which was initiated in 2004, under which farmers from 12 districts in the Far Western and Midwestern development regions were to be managed, has been progressing very slowly. Although the program was started long ago, only 70 families in Kantipur have been rehabilitated. Among those, 30 families received land, required documents and money to construct their homes. According to governmental statistics, Kantipur alone houses 2,516 bonded tillers. Among them, 1,368 families have received identity cards, while 70 families have been rehabilitated. The bonded tillers complain that the late service they receive from the government is only a means to keep their mouths shut for the time being. The government has divided the tillers into 4 groups. Group A will receive 300,000 rupees, which includes a house and land. Group B and D will receive 100,000 rupees cash to construct a home, while Group C will receive 200,000 rupees. A video has emerged showing the beheadings purportedly of 21 Egyptian Christians who had been kidnapped by Islamic State militants in Libya. The footage shows a group wearing orange overalls being forced to the ground and then decapitated. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has said that Egypt reserves the right to respond in any way it sees fit. Its IS militant claim to have carried out several attacks in Libya, which is in effect without the government. However, with many armed groups operating in Libya, it is not clear how much power IS actually wields. The kidnapped Egyptian workers, all Coptic Christians, were seized in December and January from the coastal town of Sirte in eastern Libya, now under the control of Islamic groups. On Sunday, President Sisi banned all travel to Libya by Egyptian citizens. Despite the turmoil in Libya, thousands of Egyptians go to the country looking for work. There have been demonstrations in Egypt calling on the government to do more to secure the release of those held. And time now for another short break. For more news, stay tuned.
Reliance Cement, Lucky Jewelers, New Road, Kathmandu, Jagdamba Steel, Milestone School, Lagankhel, Lalitpur, Kailash Vikas Bank Limited, Pantene, Shikhar Shoe, in association with upcoming news. Business news.
Parliament's Finance Committee has directed the government to investigate the 5.4 billion rupee account of Nepalese in Swiss banks. It has asked that the facts be made public and the guilty be booked. The committee directive comes after it was revealed that 8 Nepalese have stashed away illegal cash in a Swiss bank. The committee has also directed the government to coordinate the investigation with the help of the Swiss government. Governor of Central Bank Yuvraj Kantipur said although Nepalese were allowed to hold accounts in foreign banks, none of the 8 account holders had sought government permission for it. Anti-Money Laundering Department's Director General Kewal Prasad Bhandari said since Nepal doesn't have a pact with Switzerland on such cases, it would have to be tackled diplomatically. A report by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalism had revealed last week that 8 Nepalese have put away 5.4 billion rupees in Switzerland's HSBC Bank. The accounts are under the names of Bijendra Joshi, Vijay Kumar Tori Agarwal, Bimal Kazi Tamarkar Pinu Shrestha, Biswambar Singh Thapa, Bisodhar Tuladar, Dr. Swayam Babu Karmacharya, Harish Kumar Tori, Professor Satyendra Kumar Gupta, Rajendra Kumar Kabra, Rekha Kabra and Sasikanta Agarwal. But it is not clear if all the accounts are with HSBB. And it's now time for a segment Public Pulse, where you SMS us with your opinion. And the question is, what should be done to secure the illegal cash stashed by Nepalese in foreign banks? And options are A. Central bank intervention, B. Active Anti-Money Laundering Department, and C. Proactive Parliamentary Committee. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 8080 and do share your opinion with us. The Investment Board has informed that the works related to West Seti and Upper Masandi Hydel projects have recently gained momentum. The board said that final efforts were underway to accomplish both projects. The West Seti hydropower project is being funded by China, while Indian company GMR is making its investment in the Upper Karnali project. The board also stated that the final phase of consultation with both the donors were being held to finalize the schemes. Investment Board's Executive Director Radhesh Pant said that the board was deliberating the deadline criteria and work and undertaking efforts for the completion of Arun 3rd hydropower project as per the project development agreement. The Governance and Monitoring Committee has directed the government to ease bottlenecks in the availability and distribution of cooking LP gas. At the meet held yesterday, the Committee of the Legislature Parliament directed the Ministry of Commerce and Industries to make the supply and distribution of gas easier. Parliamentarians at the meeting strongly criticized the government of not being able to manage the distribution of gas despite the scarcity in the market. In response, Commerce and Industry Minister Sunil Bahadur Thapa said this was due to the internal problems in India. He said the uneven import of gas from India had been causing the scarcity and that the problem would be solved in a few days. Minister Thapa said that he had talked to the Indian government about increasing the gas quota and supply. He also said that the government was actively working on a long-term solution. And time now for the sport update.
Sports News.
In the first ICC World Cup match yesterday, South Africa has emerged victorious. In the Group A match, South Africa beat Zimbabwe with 62 runs. In the match held at New Zealand's Hamilton, South Africa lost the toss and was invited to bat first. They scored 339 runs, losing 4 wickets in stipulated overs. David Miller and JP Domini made a partnership of double century for South Africa. They scored 83 runs in 21 overs, losing 4 wickets. Individually, Miller scored 7 fours in 92 balls and 9 sixes, taking it to 138 runs. Domini scored 115 runs in 100 balls. Chasing a target of 340 runs, Zimbabwe lost their first wicket, scoring 32 runs in 7 overs. Chamu Chibaba and Hamilton Masakaza scored in the partnership of 105 runs, giving their team some hope. Chibaba was out in 64 runs. After adding another 54 runs, Masakaza was out at 80 runs. Brandon Taylor added 40 for Zimbabwe. The team were all out at 177 runs at 48 overs and 2 balls. South African David Miller was declared player of the match. Meanwhile, in the ICC World Cup match yesterday, India beat Pakistan by 76 runs. In the match held at Australia's Adelaide Oval, India won the toss to bat first. They scored 300 runs in 50 overs, losing 7 wickets. India had scored 34 runs, losing its first wicket to begin with. Virat Kohli and Shikhar Dhawan scored 139 runs in partnership, securing the team's position. Kohli then partnered with Suresh Raina for a 110-run score. Kohli scored a century on his team's behalf. He contributed 107 runs, while Raina scored 75 and Dhawan scored 73. Pakistan's bowler Sohail Khan took 5 wickets, chasing a target of 301 runs. Pakistan was all out at 47 overs, scoring 224 runs. They lost their first wicket at 11 runs. By 102 runs, they had lost 4 wickets at 154 runs. Pakistan had lost 7 wickets. Captain Misbah-ul-Haq scored valuable 73 for Pakistan. Ahmed Sahajadeh contributed 47. Haris Rohe scored 36, while others were all out. India's Mohammad Sami and Umesh Yadav took 4, and Umesh Yadav and Mohit Sharma took 2 wickets each to stop Pakistan. Virat Kohli has set a new record, scoring a century against Pakistan. With the score, he becomes the first player to score a century in 2 consecutive World Cups. Kohli has also become the first Indian player to score a century against Pakistan in the World Cup. Kohli has also mastered 100 runs in the 2011 World Cup. This is his 10th stint at the greatest international cricket event. In 2003 World Cup, Sachin Tendulkar had scored 98 runs against Pakistan, which is so far the highest Indian score against them ever. Kohli has broken that record. He also become the 4th player to score a century against Pakistan. Australia's Andrew Symonds, New Zealand's Ross Taylor and West Indies' Richie Richardson preceded him. And meanwhile, in another match being played today, West Indies has set the target of 305 runs to Ireland. Tribhuvan Army Club have cruised into the semi-finals of Virat Gold Cup football tournament underway in Biratnagar. Army confirmed their spot in the last 4, defeating Calcutta's The Judge Telegraph 2-0 in a match held on Said Stadium yesterday afternoon. Navayuk Shrestha and Rajiv Gurung contributed a goal each in the extra time for Army. Shrestha scored in the 3rd minute of the extra time, while Gurung netted another 10 minutes later to seal the match in Army's favour. And before we wrap up, a reminder of the top stories. Constituent Assembly Chairman requests parties to end political deadlock, urges them to find a negotiated settlement at the earliest. Parliament's Finance Committee directs government to investigate the wealth deposited by Nepalese in Swiss bank. Islamic State make public a video that depicts the killing of 31 Egyptian Christians kidnapped by them in Libya. And South Africa beat Zimbabwe. India handled Pakistan in the first day encounters of the ICC World Cup.